pretty sure I was going to like this movie since I knew people were going to get shot in the head. I wasn't expecting, however, that my wife was going to say that this might be in her top 10 favorite movies of all time. So in The Accountant, Ben Affleck plays, well, an accountant. But he's not just a local CPA, he actually cooks the books for a number of criminal organizations. And his character is also on the autism scale and was raised with a number of handy skills so he could take care of himself, like using his fists and guns, which comes in handy when you cook the books for a number of criminal organizations. I don't want to give you too many details about the story or the characters beyond that, because the nature of the story is kind of the intrigue of who is doing what and why they're doing it. And there's a lot of plot twists. There's a lot of changes of directions, and telling you much more about the story kind of ruins that for you. So starting off with the good, I really like the characters in this movie. Ben Affleck's character is so much more likable and charismatic than you initially think he's going to be. And at moments you're like, oh, I don't know where this is going. And then immediately like, oh, I get what they're doing here, and it's funnier than you're expecting because of these little character interactions. I was really nervous about Anna Kendrick being in the movie because Anna Kendrick normally plays Anna Kendrick in movies, and that's really what she plays in this movie, but it fits perfectly into it because she plays that kind of awkward, real normal type awkward that people actually are in real life, which fits perfectly with the Ben Affleck character in ways that you couldn't really put in the trailer to understand what they're going for, but in the movie it works perfectly, and the dynamics of the relationship are crafted in a way that there's like you see it slowly building just by little glances and looks, and the way it plays out is very, very nicely done with payoff that makes sense. Doesn't play like Hollywood moments. It doesn't just go for the big romantic moment. It doesn't go for stuff like that. It plays like a normal interaction between two people that would be in this situation. But what makes the movie so intriguing is just the way they're going to craft this character that has autism and put him in situations that made sense in the world that they were crafting and have meaningful interactions. That it was much more heartfelt in the way it worked out with his relationship with his father, with Anna Kendrick, with the people around him. And you can see why he's doing and why he would do what he would do because of the background that he has, because of the way he is designed. And even all the way up into the final couple minutes of the movie, you're understanding him better, and that's really what makes the movie so intriguing, is the character at the center of it. The plot is kind of a fairly standard action thriller. You'd get one of these movies every weekend in the 90s. But because they put such an interesting character at the center of it, and it's a character study, it makes the movie so much stronger than it would have been otherwise. One more positive on the movie, the action is very nicely choreographed. It's very cool looking action. This isn't a jam-packed action fest, but when it does action, it does it well. It does it in a way that the tension of the moment really matters. You care about what's happening. It fits in with the story. It doesn't feel forced at all. And when it happens, it is done well. While I really like the movie, it's not perfect. It has probably one too many storylines, especially as you get towards the end of the movie. You could look at a whole subplot that you could just pull out of the movie and the movie still works. It's not a bad subplot. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like, why do they keep cutting away to this? But as you're watching it, you're like, this doesn't need to be here. It exists for the purpose of giving us more information, some background, a couple other elements going on. It ties together a few more plot twists. But it isn't crucial to the main storyline, so it feels unfocused at times. And especially kind of in the first hour of the movie, I could see where someone would be like, all right, where are we going with all of this? Partially because there's a little bit too many plot lines going on. Along those same lines, there's probably also one too many plot twist in the last half of the movie. While the movie kind of is based around the mystery and intrigue and the payoffs of all of that, there's just probably one too many towards the end. And it's not that any of them are bad. It's not that any of them feel totally out of place. It's just that you get one too many of them, so the punch of any one is kind of taken away, and you could have focused on one or two of them and developed those a little bit more, integrated them a little bit more, as opposed to having this 1, 2, 3, 4 punch is what it feels like at the end of the movie. Overall, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I expect it to be in my top 10 of the year, probably top 5 of the year. It's a very interesting character study with a great character at the center of it, with some great action, great tension that's built along the way, much funnier than I was expecting, and also with a lot more heart than I was expecting. But at the same time, there's probably one too many plot lines, there's probably one too many plot twists towards the end, but overall a very enjoyable movie. If I'm being honest, I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray to watch it again. I really like this movie. And as I said at the beginning, my wife said she thinks it might be in what kind of her top 10 favorite movies of all time, but she also said it was too violent for her taste, so she doesn't know if she's going to be able to watch it a whole lot. But I highly recommend you go see it. This is a type of movie that Hollywood doesn't make as much of anymore, that mid-budget action thriller. They used to make them all the time. Now they're a little bit less common. I want you to go see it so that they make more of these. I really enjoyed this movie. I really enjoy this director, and I'm glad that he has another, good movie under his belt. So what did you think of The Accountant? As of right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it's rotten. It used to be at 40%, and I have no clue how that is. Like, I don't know what movie they saw that was their reaction to it. Like, I read one of them that was like, the guy that cut the trailer should win an Oscar for making this garbage look good. And like, I read that and I was like, what movie did you see and what were you expecting? Because I saw the trailer and I got a better movie than I thought the trailer was going to give it, and I had high expectations for it. So what did you think about it? Did you think this was a good movie? Do you think that the trailer sold it right? Can you explain to me why the Rotten Tomatoes score is so low? I'm actually legitimately confused and frustrated by it because I want people to go see this movie because I liked it a lot. So please tell me in the comment section. I don't want to just talk about The Accountant. I want to talk with you about The Accountant and be convinced of why it's good or bad. Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I would graciously appreciate it. I said too much in that one breath. That was a little bit too much. But thank you for watching anyway.